What I've been encouraging people to do is maybe just take the framework out of the flap and get it so you can bring the gun up through there without throwing it wide open. And because if you watch, and I just watched one recently, Craig Boddington, where they're just shooting out of a typical Canadian willow blind, or they just bring their gun up out of the top of that blind, and them geese don't have a clue. They don't see that small movement of a gun barrel. The other thing is that on gun barrels, I also make a gun barrel adapter where you can put the flag. I call it a flag, but really it's a fabric silhouette. It's what it amounts to, from that standpoint. So, but that's another way of kind of concealing yourself and then having the gun so it's in a good position and ready to shoot. Probably a technique that I would use on snow geese more so than anyhow. After the seminar, they've got a big fan over in the Kruger Farms booth, and you can kind of see what the wind does to this. It's hard to demonstrate this to its full extent in here. Yeah, because it really, and you can kind of get the picture. Basically, what I want to do is just make it look like a bird that's in the process of landing. And by putting that head on there, people over the years, Jim Berry, for instance, with Texas Hunting Products, he made heads to fit on, on top of the Texas rags. And he said that the reports on, the difference, how that affected results, that it made a big difference, once you show the whole bird. So it's kind of why I added it, just to give it the finishing touch. It's kind of like having a layer cake without any frosting on it. Took his naming of it, and I guess that, if you listen to what Tim told you, that speculum, we as hunters, we see the underside of the goose more so than the backside is when they're leaving. And that's why now, when I've made improvements in what I offer the hunter, is I'm adding a white underneath. Now I suggest to you, if you were to use something like this, I would probably paint the tail portion, and this tail portion is in the shape of a fan. And if you study birds when they come in and land, their body tips into about a 45-degree angle, and then at that point their tail, whether it's pigeons, doves, ducks, geese, whatever, this becomes part of their stopping, and they're settling in, part of their anatomy. You'll be looking at that flight there, and if I use this is a new little T flag that's probably about a 75% model of the original that I made for, so if you, I don't know, like you lay in a layout blind, that if you're concerned about hiding it, that you can just open your flap and stick it in there and it's gone. Totally out of... I have